Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in today's Fighter in Focus video, we'll be looking at the Knight Vexillor for Age of Sigmar and Warcry. Here we go, here's the Knight Vexillor taken from the Dominion box set, and yesterday we looked at the Merc Knob with Belcher Banner, and this is kind of the Stormcast Eternals version of that. So he'll be rallying the troops with this awesome banner, and he has some great effects and abilities that we can use in our Age of Sigmar game. So in this video, we'll look at the War Scroll for the Knight Vexillor, then we'll also look at a Warcry card I put together for him based on some of the stats taken from the Sentinels of Order book. Just like all the models in that Dominion box set, it's really easy to put together, and this was a push fit model. I cut off some of the connecting little tabs just so I could get a better seal, and then I glued it together, so nice and solid. You could keep the banner separate and paint that separate if you want to, but I'll just be going for tabletop ready effects on this, and with such good detailing it won't take long to paint. But size wise, just to give you an idea, to the top of the banner is 90mm, and then the width from one part to the other, the widest part, is 80mm, so really good size. And then comparing it with all the other miniatures that came in the Dominion box set for the Stormcast Eternals, this should give you a good idea of just how big this model is and how it stands amongst all the other fighters. And if you like the look of this miniature, you'll be able to pick him up from the Dominion box set, which is still available, and you can even get 20% off the RRP, and I'll put some links in the description below to Element Games and Wayland Games, who've got some great deals at the moment. Before we move on and look at the War Scroll and Fighter cards, let's learn a little bit more about the Knight Vexillor and see how he fits into the Age of Sigmar and what he's up to in the mortal realms. Knights Vexillor have but a single duty: to protect the holy battle standards of the storm hosts. Each of these reforged warriors is a proven martial champion, and the relic banners they proudly bear contain mysterious celestial powers that can be called upon to aid the Stormcast Eternals in times of war. Knights Vexillor are entrusted with bearing the holy banners of Azyr into battle. The great standards of the storm hosts are relics, an order of magnitude more sacred than any mere regimental pennant. Each is crafted through the mystical arts of Azerite saints, and is said by the preachers that Sigmar himself imparts a measure of his own divine radiance to them. Only the finest warriors can be entrusted with one of the sacred standards, and the Stormcasts who emerge triumphant from the grueling arena combat are inevitably those possessed of the strongest will, champions who would rather suffer an eternity of torment than allow their charge to fall. Standards are capable of summoning blazing meteor showers to bombard the enemy, while others can conjure a cyclone of heavenly winds to transport a Stormcast retinue great distances in a matter of moments. Amongst the most glorious are the banners of apotheosis. These star silk pennants are threaded through with swarf and shavings taken from the anvil for which they are named. When such a banner is planted and the proper holy litanies intoned, nearby Stormcast Eternals are bathed in the light of the forge, their flesh becoming as hard as Sigmarite, just as any damage to their armour is miraculously restored. When the indomitable warriors called the Knight Vexillor raise such a banner over a nascent frontier town, it is a statement that they will never let it fall, no matter what. So that's a brief introduction to the Knights Vexillor, so now let's get on and look at the War Scroll that came with the model in the Dominion box set, and we'll start working our way through all the characteristics, starting with the model characteristics. And you can see here that the Knight Vexillor has a movement of 5 inches, it's a 3+ to save, bravery is 8, and it can take 6 wounds. The character description is nice and simple. A Knight Vexillor with banner of apotheosis is armed with a Sigmarite warblade. And next we've got the weapon characteristics, and here we've got a melee weapon, which is that Sigmarite warblade. That's got a range of 1 inch, he can make 4 attacks, it's a 3+ to hit, a 3+ to wound, rending on a -1, and damage that it can dish out is 2. Now let's look at the abilities, and then we've got 2 abilities here, and one's pretty long, so let's work our way through it, and this is the Banner of the Reforged. Each banner of apotheosis contains fragments of the great anvil upon which the Stormcast Eternals are created. When the banner is planted, this fortifying energy hardens flesh and seals sundered armour, empowering the faithful with new resolve. Once per battle in your hero phase, if this unit is on the battlefield, you can pick up to 3 friendly Stormcast Eternals units wholly within 12 inches of this unit to be affected by the banner's energy. You can pick the same unit multiple times. If you pick a unit once with this ability, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to that unit, or if no wounds are allocated to it, you can return a number of slain models to that unit that have a combined wounds characteristic of D3 or less. If you pick a unit twice with this ability, you can heal up to 2 D3 wounds allocated to that unit, or if no wounds are allocated to it, you can return a number of slain models to that unit that have a combined wounds characteristic of 2 D3 or less. If you pick a unit 3 times with this ability, you can heal up to 3 D3 wounds allocated to that unit, or if no wounds are allocated to it, you can return a number of slain models to that unit that have a combined wounds characteristic of 3 D3 or less. So a pretty long ability there, but I think once you play it out and practice it a little bit, I think it makes sense. It's just the same kind of conditions, but depending on how many times you can pick them, depends how many D3 you can use. And our next ability is a little bit more straightforward. This is called Soul Charged Icon. Banners of Apotheosis are potent icons to the storm host, and those who fight in their shadow are filled with redoubled fervour. You can re-roll charge rolls for friendly Stormcast Eternals units wholly within 12 inches of this unit. So nice and simple, that's more like it, really easy to understand, and a real straightforward re-roll of your charge rolls. And finally we've got our keywords, which are Order, Stormcast Eternals, Thunderstrike, Hero, Totem, Knight Vexillor with Banner of Apotheosis. And that sums up the whole War Scroll for the Knight Vexillor with the Banner of Apotheosis. So now let's move on and look at how we can use the fighter in Warcry. And here we go, here's our Knight Vexillor Warcry fighter card, and I took all the stats for this card from the Warcry supplement book, The Sentinels of Order, and this is taken from the Warrior Chamber of the Stormcast Eternals, and there's already a Knight Vexillor in that book, so I just used the same stats and the same abilities from there, but just changed the image on the card, and I make this available to all my Patreon members so they can take this, print it off at home for personal use, and use it in their Warcry game. So if you're interested in that and would like to get access to things like this, then check out my Patreon page, and I'll put a link in the description below. But our Knight Vexillor here, you can see he's coming in at 205 points. He's got a movement 4, he's got a toughness 5 and can take 30 wounds. He's got the leader rune mark and that shield banner rune mark as well. So he's going to get some abilities there that we'll see in a moment. And then for his weapon, it's a weapon range 1. He can make 3 attacks. It's strength 4 and he deals 2 to 4 on a crit. So the Storm Host are all pretty expensive, especially in the Warrior Chamber. At 205 points, so you do get those 30 wounds. He's very tough. Attacking's not amazing, but I think the abilities are going to help us out. So let's take a look at those next. So here are the leader abilities for the Warrior Chamber, and any of them with the Warrior Chamber rune mark and the leader rune mark can use the double Staunch Defender, but our Knight Vexillor here can also use the quad because he's got that shield banner rune mark as well. So let's take a look at the double first, which is Staunch Defender. And until the end of the battle round, add 1 to the toughness characteristic of friendly fighters while they are within 6 inches of this fighter. So this is great. They're really tough already, the Stormcast Eternals, but added an extra one on is certainly going to put them up against those bigger, tougher models. And if you want to go monster hunting in Warcry, then this is a great ability to use. And so yeah, as long as they're within 6 inches, they don't have to be visible. They're going to get 1 added to their toughness. So I like this ability specifically for this leader as well, because it kind of plays into the whole narrative of the banner too. But now let's have a look at that quad, that Tempest Winds. And for this one, until the end of the battle round, add the value of this ability to the move characteristic of friendly fighters that start their activation within 12 inches of this fighter. So again, this is really adding to that idea of the banner really driving the fighters forward, and they can gain some serious movement here. If you get a 5 or 6, any friendly fighters that start within 12 inches of this fighter can get access to that extra move characteristic, which is really great because on a Warcry board 12 inches goes a long way, and so that can cover quite a bit of ground. So there we go, there's our 2 abilities for the leader abilities, but he's also going to get another ability that he can use from the regular fighter ability. So let's have a look at that now. And this fighter ability is a double, and any member of the warband with the Stormcast Eternal's warrior rune mark can use this ability, and it's called Furious Avengers. A fighter can use this ability only if there is another friendly fighter within 6 inches of this fighter with 1 or more damage points allocated to them. This fighter makes a bonus move action, so this is a really handy little double. The chances are after a round or 2 someone's going to get some damage. You're going to be close enough to them to be within that 6 inches, and you get another bonus move action. So this is really great. So I'm really liking this ability for the warrior chamber, and I think this is a good one to also play into the whole narrative of this particular fighter as your leader as well. So that sums up the fighter card and the abilities for Warcry now. So what do you think? Is this a good fighter to have in your Age of Sigmar army, or would you like to include him in your Warcry warband? Maybe not as a leader, but perhaps as a hero. Might be a good option for that. But I'd love to know what you think, so join in the comments below. That'd be great. Again, if you'd like to pick up this model, it's available in Dominion box set, and I'll put links in the description below. There'll be affiliate links, but they don't cost any extra. In fact, you save up to 20%, and for every sale made through a link, I get a small commission, which helps me do loads of videos like this and really supports the channel. So thanks so much for that. And you can also find more videos on the channel going into details for Indrasta, the Lord Imperator, and also the Knight Arcanum, and then not forgetting the Cruel Boys. I'm also doing videos for all the Cruel Boys that came in that Dominion box set too. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you a good idea of what you can do with this particular fight, the Knight Vexillor. And so thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'd be great to see you there.